Hello, everybody. Hi, Sharon. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving and that the weather is nice where you are. Here it's a little bit cold, but hey, it's the beginning of December, first day of December. I am sorry and I apologize. I intended to post a different video yesterday, but there was one last thing I was missing. And it was supposed to be delivered on Wednesday, and it was late, and finally yesterday showed as it finally reached here and it was going to be delivered, and then it just kept, you know how you get, it's later and later, and that in the end it said before 10 p.m. It came at 8 o'clock in the evening. It was way too late for me to do anything, so there you go. I hope you still enjoyed the video I uploaded. Anyway, hi Lianka, hi Colleen. I'm going to show you how to make a really nifty little star cane, Christmas star cane. And I hope you will like it. It can be used in different ways. I'm going to make it very easy today, and I will explain to you what you can do to make it even more striking. Okay, so I'm first starting with cutting. Let me get a bigger one. I'm going to work with cadmium yellow, alizarin crimson, black, white, and translucent. You can replace the alizarin crimson and black with burnt umber, so you don't have to do so much stuff. Oh my goodness, South Africa, it's midnight there. What are you doing up so late? No, it's not midnight. It's, let me see. You're about... It's morning. Because you're about 6 or 7 from GMT, but on the opposite side, I think. Or it's evening. Tell me what time is there, because my brain is too blonde on this Sunday to be able to make proper calculations. So let's take some measurements just to, because a lot of times I'm told by people, I cannot eyeball like you, so can you give some measurements? I'm going to give some measurements. So we're gonna go for, this is so long, for about, this is on the thickest setting, so I'm going to go for 1.5 thick. Yeah, so it is evening, not morning. Sorry, only the seasons are backwards. There we go. And then let's go for a 5-inch length. So this is our base, the cadmium yellow. This is how much we are going to use. 1.5 inches by 5 inches long. And then I am going to grab some white, and I'm also going to make it 1.5 inches tall. They all get to be 1.5. by 2 inches, and out of this I'm going to take only half, but cut it on a diagonal. Hi Catherine. And this is going to go here. So I got the light part of the Skinner blend. Then we are going to go, this time we are going to go with 3/4 of an inch, so half of 1 1/2. So 3/4 of an inch. Let me cut first 1/2. Nice edge. And we're gonna go. So again, half of 1 1/2 inches. That's 3/4 of an inch. By 2 inches long. And again, we get half of it. And this goes here. And then we are going to go with 3/4 of an inch. Just get this by 1/2 an inch. Let me just get this straight here. And I cannot find my short one, so 1/2 an inch. No. 3/4 of an inch. By 1/2 an inch. And I know I could have made this ahead of time, but I thought that and again we go. Half of it in a diagonal. But I really had to show you exactly how to place these. So here we go. Cadmium yellow, white, and I didn't place it all the way to the end. There we go. White, alizarin crimson, and black. So get this out of the way. I'm going to first get it through the machine like this. And I know it looks a little bit ridiculous because of, I'm gonna try and get it back to a rectangle as much as possible. And then we fan. This will teach me to rip stuff. Yes, I did not condition the clay a lot because I didn't want it to get too warm and sticky in the end. It's going to be conditioned just perfectly to make the cane by the time I'm done with the Skinner blend. You can condition it fine, just fine, if you have a Skinner blend that has kind of similar colors, but here as I have black and yellow and white, it's going to require quite a bit of passes, so I am not going to have my clay super conditioned before I finish this. And another thing I need here is for the black to really be at the edge, and same goes for the white. Okay, so we are going to do a lot of rolling at this point. And I am rolling on a thinner setting, not on the thicker setting. And to always do the roll properly, first fold the end here, so you can do a better rolling job. And you don't have to keep it exceptionally narrow, just as narrow as it is comfortable for you to work with. Oops. Oy. I swear to you, my hands aren't worth much these days. Oh, goodness. So I'm going through 3 settings to go thinner and thinner. And once again, I first fold this part. And don't use just black. If you don't have alizarin crimson, use a little bit of red. Why? Because just black will make it a weird greenish hue. Even if theoretically that shouldn't happen in real life colors, I mean talking physics, but because of the pigments that are in the clay, this is what you'll get. So you want to counteract that greenish hue with something that's reddish and bring it slightly towards brown. And as I said, you can use burnt umber if it is easier for you, and if you use burnt umber, use the same measurements as for the white. Only that you put it on the opposite end. Of course, with the thickest part on the outside. Alrighty, let's go again. I'm going to go a few times through this and then fan fold it again. And at my last one, I am going to put it in on the length to make for a more delicate fan folding. So I'm going to put it in the machine like this. After which I will keep rolling. You want a very, normally I tell you when you can do what's called a dirty Skinner blend, where the colors are not perfectly, don't have a perfect gradient. But in this case, you want a very delicate and well done Skinner blend. So there we go. I need to trim my bangs. One of my bangs is perfectly goes like this in an arch and comes straight on my upper lids, which is very irritating. And I presume I'll have to do 5 or 6 rolls to get the proper thing. So again, going from the thickest to a much thinner one. And there we go. And because I don't want my I need a little bit more gradient here, so I'm going to do a little bit of weaving when I'm rolling. So I go slightly over on this side, then go straight, then go slightly over on this side, then go straight. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. I just go by like 3 millimeters over the edge, and then the very end I go straight, straight, straight. And then we flatten it. And oops. To be very honest, I don't think at this point I would still be able to work with female. Like at all. And again, I'm going to do the same thing to bring this a little bit more on this side. But don't worry too much, because when we get in the final stage where we just fold and put through the machine and do the same over and over, it's going to be a very nice and refined gradient. I actually think I only need to do these 2 more times before going to the folding over. And I think this will be the last one. Now I'm going simply straight. Because I got the gradient exactly where I want it to. And now I'm just going on the thicker setting, fold and pass through the machine. And we are there. Now, very careful. What I'm going to do here is I'm first going to cut it in half. Okay. Then, from the bottom one, I'm going to cut about, let me see, about 1 inch from the top. Put it aside. And from the top one, I'm going to cut about 1 inch from the bottom. Okay. This you can use for other stuff later, and I'll tell you later what to do. Oh, I'm sorry you're sick, Remo, but I hope that watching my videos helps you. Feeling better. I know that there are some videos that always help someone feeling better. For me, when I'm gonna confess that whenever I'm feeling blah and I don't have a lot of creativity and stuff, I watch the older videos of Tiny Pandora, Teresa Salgado. I mean the ones in which it was just her, because I find her voice very soothing and very... A lot of times I would be working on something and I let her, I'm sorry, Darla, and I let her video run in the background just for her voice. Okay, now I'm going to go with them in length on a thinner and thinner setting. And it might have the tendency to curl because it's a little bit uneven. Okay, and now the edges are always a little bit wider than the middle because by this time the clay has become very, very soft. So we do a simple fanning. And you try to keep about the same width of the fan section as the height. And again, the very end, as I said, is a little bit wider. And if in this, I didn't use a lot of clay, so. Okay, and you try to get with it to a relatively squarish thing. Let's go with this one too. So again, the same principle. And then we are going to deform these in a specific way, and that's where you have to be very careful how you deform it. It is pretty crucial to the way the star will look in the end. This is very crucial, and also the way we put the star together at the very end. And you can make it a 4-spoke star, you can make it a 5-spoke star, the principle is the same. You can make it a 6-spoke. Again, it's entirely up to you. How many spokes will determine the angle of, you'll see, of the triangle that we make as a basic thing. Okay, so as you can see, this is one has more dark and one has more bright. Yeah, so try to make them the same, pretty much the same length. And now comes, and I'm going to actually flatten them a little bit so it would be easier to, I'm gonna make them more stout. Shorter and fatter. I'm going to say kind of like me. Right now I'm short and fat. Well, good thing is that I finally found a diet that helps me losing weight, because apparently I cannot get the proper thyroid medication I need because of the standards of practice. And if I go outside of the standards of practice, the insurance doesn't cover. Yeah, I know short content is all the rage, but honestly, that is not, short content is not really for crafters unless they want to get new ideas. The short content is not tutorials. You cannot really show in less than 2 minutes everything one needs to know in order to make a piece, unless it's something very simple. You know, you slap something, you put something else, and then you put resin. But think about stuff that involves Skinner blends, stuff that involves all kinds of other things. It's especially for beginners, it is very hard to understand what they are supposed to do. Okay, so we are going to make triangles out of this, and it is very, very important to know how to do these triangles. So the basics of it is that the dark part will be one side of a triangle, and then we need to move these into one point. But again, it is actually no, it's not one part. On the light side, the bright, let's start with the light side. So the light side, the dark part is one of the triangles, yeah, and then we need to bring it with the point of the triangle will be somewhere here. So 2/3, if you divide the light side into 2/3, the point will be on one of these thirds. It's entirely up to you which of them you choose. And then it has to be pretty much like this, but these two have to be equal. Pretty much like this, and make sure that you pull at the very ends, because the edges will See how they stay behind? Make sure you pull them forward. So this is not a straight angle. It is an obtuse angle, as you can see. Now, with this one, the black part is going to be one of the angles, and the white part is going to be the base. So, wait, no, not the white part is going to be the base. It's going to be this part is to 1/3. So we measured this to 1/3, and this third is going to be the point. So going pretty much like this. And this part is the long one. So we bring this in the middle. And you want it to be the same size as this. Yeah, so we're gonna flatten this. About the same size. Okay, because essentially when they will come together, they will be pretty much, hold on, so this goes like this, and this goes like this. No, sorry, this goes like this. I am so sorry. And this goes like this. So this is how they will look in the end. I know it's dirty here because it's the very end, but what we are going to do, we are going to actually, so remember it's this and this, yeah? We are going to actually put them like this. And to be very honest, they are not pointy enough. So I'm going to make them even pointier. At this point, I want to make another triangle and put it here. But this triangle is going to be translucent, okay? Now, for the more sparkly one, you need to use black, not translucent, and then you use these and you put another white here to make a Skinner blend, and then you roll it with the white part inside, and you roll different sections, and you're going to just intersperse them between the black to look like little sparkles of light. But anyway, I'm going to keep this as a backup and make a triangle. I don't think I need another one. Maybe I do. Let me just put it in here because it's always easier to remove than to add. it is too much, so I'm going to remove some. But at this point, so I want this to be about this tall. And then and as I said, I need this to be more a more acute angle. Okay, so I'm gonna go like this. I know it doesn't look very pretty right now, but we're gonna get there, I promise you. And now we completely triangularize this so that the sides are perfectly triangular. And we reduce. I might make a 6-spoke star. You can make it, as I said, you can make it 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, exactly how much you want it. Let me get back. And I have a little. So I'm going to go with it until I get to 3 inches length. And I'm almost there, but I want to make it a little bit longer because I want to cut the very edges, the ends, as I want it to be properly. All right, now let's see. If I cut this, and I cut this, good, kind of sorta. Okay, 1, 2. And the deal is that you turn around one, so you don't put them like this. Okay, where's my screen? You don't put them like this, you put them together like this. And then the same for this one, you don't put them like this, you put them together like this. Now the thing is that they are supposed to be, I need to push this in a little bit. And even if you have to pinch them to be more pointy, you do that after you put it together. So now I'm going to reduce this part. You can make it taller if you want. And let's get rid of the wastages. See what I'm talking about? If I wouldn't have, if I would have gotten my clay super conditioned, it would be almost unworkable now. Normally, and I said it before, normally I kind of let it sit a little bit after I reduce one part. And then here again, careful it doesn't go like this. You turn it around and it goes like this. So now, to be on the safe side, to have it look like a star, not like a flower, you go ahead and pinch these. And then just fill it up with and as I said, once you start, if you go for the more flashy one, you use black instead of translucent, and then you make, I told you with white here, you make the Skinner blend with, and then you roll it with the white inside. You roll it, you don't fan fold it. And then you make different sizes that should be anywhere from 2 millimeters to 1 millimeter. And then you start haphazardly putting them in between layers of black, the bigger ones near the star and the smaller ones a little bit more far away. Your cane will be a little bit longer. You have to put more fill than what I'm putting in here with translucent, but it looked like sparks are coming out of the star. Give me just a second here. And a lot of people keep asking me, because there's always new people here, where I get this big rigid blade. I don't know if she still has it. It actually came from one of Teresa Salgado's kits. I think it was the one with different bangle templates. This one. This one. It was a full kit. And there's one even thinner than this. And it came with this big blade that made it much easier to cut the strips. Okay, so I'm going to simply place it here. As I said, it's easier to remove than to add. So for now, I'm going to just follow the lines here. Diagonal. And I need it to end here. So diagonal. Until we make it round. Yeah, because round is easier to reduce. even if I'm going to be very clear, it is much easier to mess up the pattern when you reduce a round cane than when you reduce a square cane. Hi, Elaine. Did they come up with season 3 or you're watching season 2? I love that series. Those two are just adorable. And of course the actors themselves. For me, anything David Tennant plays is fabulous. Just love him to pieces. Now, of course, you can do something just with this. You can make earrings and other stuff. But what I would suggest, and I will make several canes, I'm going to even try to cram more than one cane and have them on video as well. So in the end, we can make a type of like washi tape cane with stuff that's very tiny. A whole bunch of little tiny things in the same cane. You know that I showed in the beginning of my channel, I showed micro caning and what does that look like. So we are going to be doing some complex micro canes, and that are absolutely adorable. They require patience because with the micro canes you definitely have to put them in the fridge for a little bit and then continue. Otherwise, when they are so small, it's so easy to smudge the pattern inside. Okay, I'm not going to do it more than this. This should be enough. Okay, pretty much. If you want to make it even, to make it to be more defined, you can put just a very, very thin silver or gold around each triangle when you start with the first triangle. I would even put graphite. That would work too. And let's do something with these. You know me and beads. So these look just fabulous. So what I'm doing first is get them like this together, kinda sorta. Try to have them actually connect everywhere. And being in translucent, they will look very much like glass beads. And let's give it a twist of a few metal leaf. It doesn't matter what leaf, colored leaf you're using. These will be more for and oh yeah, and you can do this with white and silver, or white and gray and black and white, this cane. Or you can do it with pearlescence. Just be aware that the pearlescence will be, you'll have to kind of cut on a diagonal, so you'll get some mica shift. Otherwise your pearlescence will be on the dull side, and you don't want that. Okay, this should be enough. And this will look very amber-y. And you can use just use it like this, and you can use a cutter to have everything the same size. Come on, stay there. Just make sure it's all the same thickness. I'll go with it through the pasta machine. And then get I prefer the round cutters, and just grab and then form your beads. Let's make one. Let me just grab a round cutter. So this is not the smallest in the Primo set, is the next to smallest. And you can do this with pretty much any cane remnants you have. And of course this can go again through the machine, and simply do this. Hi, Christina. And there we go. We have a very pretty bead that needs to be lacquered because it's got that foil. And you have a full set of very pretty stuff. But remember, if you put your cane in the fridge for like 10-15 minutes at a time, after you reduce before putting the stuff together, it's going to, so after you, for example, after you finish reducing the first triangle, the main triangle, put it in the fridge for 15 minutes before cutting it and putting it together for the half. Then reduce the half and then put it in the fridge again before cutting it and putting it together for the final cane and reducing the final cane. That way you'll have way less wastage at the ends. Okay, so as you can see, they are, actually let me refocus a little bit. Oh, not refocus, I'm going to just zoom. It's easier than refocusing. And there we go. And once it's baked, all these areas will be translucent and they would look like a dichroic glass pretty much. So once again, first grab this and then push this, and then push this in as well, the other corners. So that way you get only the front part, that's the pretty one with the metal leaf. So again, this go in like this, and then you push in these corners and bring them over, and that way you'll have only the top part. So I hope you enjoyed it and you'll try it. And even again, even if you use the black and white, this will still look like pretty dichroic glass. So here we go. It will look more sharp and more pointy than this if you put it in the fridge. As I said, the clay can get very soft and it will deform a little bit. But anyway, this is it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next Sunday, and hopefully by next Sunday more things will happen, because you never know in my life. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful what's left of Sunday. Don't forget to like. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and have a wonderful, wonderful week to come. Bye.